gardening, poultry rearing, rainwater harvesting and model home gardening have been introduced to improve the income of fisher families. Simultaneously, microloans were provided to fisher folk and women's societies to start new livelihood in order to divert the pressure from the lagoon's ecosystem.
Our approach was to encourage the people living around this lagoon to seek alternative livelihoods that do not depend on this fragile ecosystem. The reason people behave the way they do is related to their circumstances.
The Revolving Loan Fund is yet another program introduced under the PTERP to support the low-income families who may have been partly or fully engaged in fishing or extensive agricultural practices in the area. The beneficiaries of this loan scheme are generating a considerable income through their own products. And as another facility, people living in the area have been provided with compost bins in order to minimize the accumulation of waste in the lagoon and in the waterways. As a result of it, the households have now been able to make use of their domestic waste as fertilizer in their home gardens and improving the ecosystem, their health and productivity.
IUCN, we have given 1,000 bins to those people who are near the lagoon area, periphery, where our main aim is to minimize pollution on the lagoon, so on the waste management sector, and that's why we motivated most of the tsunami affected people to minimize the pollution into the lagoon and also develop waste management plans for 3 pressure sabas.
Besides this, the project encourages the people to produce biogas by using domestic waste and waste from livestock. Thereby, the households will be able to get cheap and environmentally friendly energy, reducing the pressure on coastal vegetation by them needing to collect a lot less in the way of firewood. The project introduced the planting of Glyricidea. This versatile plant provides fodder for livestock, enriches the soil with nitrogen, and is a source of firewood and controls soil erosion. A pilot project initiated by this project is now being managed by the locals, and there is scope to expand it to produce bioenergy in the future. Of the 2 major components of the project, the first program that was launched for the purpose of upgrading the livelihood of the tsunami-affected people in the area has almost reached its desired target. One of the major components, the ecosystem restoration work on the tsunami-affected coastal belt and lagoons, requires more time. As the livelihood support provided is linked to post-care of plants established by the project, the ecosystem's objectives will eventually be reached within the next several years. At the same time, they have already started to restore the Kalmane Lagoon, which was severely affected by the tsunami. This has directly affected the community living around, and water contamination of the lagoon also increased during the past few years. After cleaning the lagoon mouth by removing the debris, the lagoon dynamics has been restored, and currently the lagoon is being used for anchoring deep-sea boats. The proposed area of the coastal belt for conservation has already been restored, and the tree planting program has commenced. For the purpose of conserving the Kalmane coastal belt, the planting of coconut saplings has already been started along the belt. Growing trees along the sea beach is also very attractive. A solid waste management complex which has adequate facilities to manage waste properly and turn waste and produce manure is being constructed close to Akkarepattu town. The construction of it is in its final stage, and with its completion, it will serve as a model of low-cost waste management. For the purpose of conserving the coastal stretches, the planting of appropriate species were done in Kalmane, Akkarepattu, Karativu, Aledivembu and Tirukkovil areas with the active participation of community-based organizations. The mangrove areas that were destroyed in the tsunami tidal waves are being re-established rapidly. The mangrove swamps in Panama have already grown to a considerable height and size. IUCN Sri Lanka provides funds for this program, and the task of propagating them is done by the fisheries societies functioning in the area.
We saw the biological, we documented timber plants, various useful plants. So we decided that we have to come up with a biological solution and restore the degraded ecosystem using biodiversity approaches.
Apart from that, it is essential to educate the people to pay special attention to the importance of protecting the biodiversity unique to our country. This awareness can be done through communication and public relations. However, the PTERP realized that the first and the best way for this is to educate the adults while also educating the school-going children. In addition to the awareness programs, lots of books and magazines on biodiversity have been donated to the school libraries in the area, where this project is in operation.
So we find IUCN is a scientific-based organization which had the major role in Perikalappu development project. So this Pound PLCC is arranged by IUCN and we are also pleased to act with them. So especially to make awareness to the public and students of the Perikalappu.
Fortunately, in the Panama Lagoon area, some natural sand dunes can be seen. These dunes not only protect the ecosystem, but also provide security to the area. The properly functioning lagoon is a sight for sore eyes. This unpolluted lagoon makes room for the people living in the area to earn their livelihood just as a parent might feed his or her own children. Perikalappu Lagoon also will reach the climax of its development soon, as the beautiful Panama Lagoon is at present. The 2 stages of the project launched by the PTERP have come to their completion by now. These people living around the lagoon are very happy, as they have been able to improve their source of income to a much higher degree. The beautiful scenes of the beach and the cheerful faces of the people further reveal the real cause of their satisfaction. These settlers share their jubilation with one another through a family get-together on the border of the lagoon. This beautiful evening comes to its end with a song relieving the cares and worries of these people. The honor for this should go to CEDA and IUCN for ushering in this change. The sun will rise over the lagoon tomorrow, opening a fresh way for these people to tread. Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself, said Chief Seattle in 1854.